Hello, my little Luxes. This is another episode of Charsie Chats, and I'm your host, cosplayer Charsie Lux. And I have some very, very important news to bring up. And yes, it's time for me to say goodbye. It is so time for me to say goodbye to 2023 because, oh my god, this year has sucked. Oh my god, I am so ready to say goodbye to this year because 2023 has been one of the worst years of my life, I gotta tell you. But we are wanting to end this year on a way better positive note than what I was dealing with last year. Because last year, in December of 2022, I should have been celebrating a moment that was special to me, that I should have been celebrating a year of having my own personal channel right here on YouTube, and that I was so proud of myself for the things that I had accomplished and how much I had developed in just a short amount of time, and that I was enjoying doing the ghost stories and my movie reviews, and just I found this passion for video edits, and just I absolutely loved and enjoyed doing the movie reviews and just getting involved with everything. But unfortunately, last year in December of 2022, I was going through the worst depression I had ever faced in my entire life. In fact, I think it's the only time I've ever dealt with depression on that level. Because, unfortunately, a year ago, I had literally... I have tried to make this video 3 different times now, so I do not want to get emotional in this one, so let's back this up. Unfortunately, a year ago, when I should have been at a very proud moment in my life, I was going through some of the lowest lows I have dealt with, and I have talked about it on this channel before. But it's important for me to open up and to talk about these things because I realize other people could be going through the exact same thing that I had went through, and that I'm still struggling with, and that I'm still working on. And what I had to go through to where I am now, a year later, that I'm celebrating 2 years of having my personal channel, and that I understand that with everything going on, that my poor channel has been a hot mess this year. I have been all over the place, but my emotions and my mental health have been all over the place, and everything has felt like a struggle. Because unfortunately, last year, for Christmas time, I literally didn't care if I was alive anymore. And I had to struggle with the thoughts of suicide and the fact that I was so numb to everything that I didn't understand why I was feeling that way, and that I didn't care. And that is what the therapy has been for me, is that for me having all these major breakthroughs in my life, to work through all these major struggles that have been happening in my life, and that it stemmed all the way back to my father's death back in 2015 until getting to this moment now. But that is exactly why I keep continuing to say that mental health is just as important as physical health, that emotional health is just as important as physical health. Because when I was struggling emotionally and mentally, my physical health was struggling, and I wasn't sleeping, I wasn't eating healthier well, and everything else that was going on. And as much as it feels like I'm repeating myself in that, this is me letting go of last year and how bad 2023 was for me. And that I'm hoping that 2024 is going to be a major breakthrough for me and is going to be a better year. And that I want to go into it with a positive attitude, But I need to let go of everything that just feels like it's been holding me back, all these negative feelings and emotions. But I also want to come forward and to talk about this stuff because I understand how many other people out there that you could be feeling the same way I was. And knowing that it's okay to not be okay. And that I am still struggling and learning and trying to work through all these emotions and feelings. And like I said, this is the 4th attempt of me making this video because it is very emotional, very hard, and for the fact of the point that I always want to bring up and say is that my major problem is the fact that I'm never standing up for myself. And I'm never defending myself, and I'm always such a freaking pushover. And there are certain things that happen here online with social media, which can be such a toxic place sometimes, that it's okay to defend myself and to stick up for myself. That I've had to learn throughout this year to take long breaks away from social media. Yes, social media can be amazing. I have found some amazing friends online. In fact, just this year, I finally got to meet my best friends, Jen and Tommy, in person. And I love and adore them, and they are so incredibly important in my life. And so I want to hang on to these good moments and realizing that the good moments are the things that are important. But I also have to look through my struggles and work past it, because otherwise if I just keep pushing it down and blocking it out, it's not actually working. It's making me sick, it's making me ill, it's making me depressed. I can't talk. It's making me depressed to the point where I just was so numb I didn't care if I was around anymore. And then it didn't help at the beginning of last year, when I was already at my worst point, was that I went through a terrible situation with a mutual online that I could not be strong enough to come out and talk about it. Because it was one of those situations that I talk about Swoop here on my channel. The line that she always uses, it's not drama, it's dangerous. And what this mutual had done to me was very dangerous. And one day, I might be strong enough to finally come out and talk about the entire situation in whole. But this is my next step in my therapy. This is my next moment to work on, because I have stepped all the way back to working on what has been at the core of everything that has been hurting me and what is going on to be to the point that I just didn't care if I was dead or alive anymore. That in that moment, I went through a very terrible situation online among mutuals and some people who were actually friends online, that I was so ill and so sick and so down on myself that I was not in the mindset to be able to come forward and to talk about everything. It was one of those situations that I need to just forgive this person, and I need to move forward from it. But I'm also in the understanding that right now this person and their friends are in their calling people out stage, and that they're going back and they're talking about situations from months ago and outing people. And I have that realization that her friends only know her side of the story. That because I chose not to tell people what was going on, I chose not to name this person because I wanted to protect them that they only know this person's side of the story. And that because of the fact that this person did exactly what I said they would do if I outed them, I flat out said I will not name or out this person because I have this fear that this person will manipulate and twist the narrative and make themselves the victim in the situation. And even without me naming this person, that's exactly what they did. Because they knew that my post was about them. And all the telltale signs behind the scenes where they made it a dead giveaway, because at first I could have been wrong. It could have been a coincidence. It really could have been. But because of what this person did behind the scenes, it told me they were guilty and they knew it. And they were trying to backtrack. And an innocent person would not do what this person did. An innocent person would not have our mutual friends come in my DM and ask who it was. And these people who were in my DM would be able to flat out say, I never named this person. I never outed them. I did exactly what I said I was going to do, and I said I wanted it to be an example to them, and that I hoped that they could use it as a learning experience to recognize what they had done and learn from it and to grow from it. And that if it was just for whatever reason a weird coincidence, that maybe then they could actually have that recognition that they were doing it and could grow from that. But to send mutual friends in my DMs to ask me questions, and then this person themselves to DM me who never once talked to me, it was a dead giveaway to me. And the final straw was the fact that this person sent their significant other to threaten me in a DM. To threaten me and basically say to me that their significant other, because of what I did, without doing anything, mind you, because none of you who are watching this, unless you know, if you are my friends that I have told behind the scenes and have talked to, you have no idea what I'm even talking about, because I never outed this person. They still did exactly what I said they were going to do and victimize themselves. And then use their significant other to threaten me in a DM and to tell me, fuck you, you caused my significant other to try and kill herself. And the tactic that they were using was to say that because of a situation where I didn't do anything but stand up for myself, I never named this person, but because of this behind the scenes and what they had done, I know for a fact that they know what they did, because an innocent person wouldn't do what they did. And then to have your significant other threaten me in a DM and to go down the tactics that they did and kept doing, and I already was suicidal. I literally wanted to delete everything in my life. I was so ready to just delete Charsie and be done with it. And that, if you can't tell by this entire year on my channel, I have not been the same. I had not been right. I'd been going down this horrible path of hating myself and just doubting myself in my capabilities, where at the beginning there I loved everything I was doing, but I didn't realize that the depression that I was dealing with from everything else before. And then at the beginning of this year, with that situation with the mutual happened, and with their friends, I was just done with everything at that point. And I never want to feel that low, that terrible ever again. And I want to be able to look back on this to future me. If a situation like this ever happens again, I want to have the strength to defend myself, to come forward and finally defend myself. But I come forward talking about this. One, to give myself strength, to give myself confidence that in the future, if something like this ever happens again, I am going to come forward. I am going to defend myself. And I also want it to be one of those where anybody else that is going through the same thing as what I went through, I never want anyone to go through that. I never want anybody to feel as terrible as I fucking felt, and to go through what I went through. And the struggle was so real at the beginning of the year. And it's so hard to talk about it without talking about it. But I want to get it off my chest because I want to say goodbye to 2023. I want to say goodbye to that moment in my life. That was one of the most fucking worst moments in my life. I've had a lot of really bad ones, but that one was fucking low. And when it's people that are online that you think are your friends and your mutual peers, and to see the tactics that they'll go through is fucking terrifying. And then knowing now that they're in this calling people out stage, that it's like this moment that I need to work on, that I need to let go. I also have to have the understanding that there might come a point in time where I do need to defend myself. If these people decide to start saying shit, untrue shit. The difference is that I have the receipts to tell my side of the story. But I only want to keep those for myself. I never wanted to name this person. I never wanted to out this person. I literally just wanted this person to self-reflect on what they were doing and how they were affecting me and other people that they could have potentially been doing the same thing to. And this person is still causing drama and issues online, where it makes me stop and wonder, if I had come forward, would it have stopped anything? And at the same time, I don't know. I don't know. All I can do is move forward and use this as a learning experience to know that it's okay for me to stand up for myself. It's okay to defend myself. And that I want to help and defend those out there that are struggling and going through the same thing. But I am so ready to say goodbye to last year. Well, technically it's still this year, but I'm so ready to say goodbye to 2023. And I want to get back to me. I want to get to that peppy, happy, hyper person that I used to be. I was the weird adult that everyone said that it's like you'd see me and my husband, full-grown fucking adults, hand in hand skipping down the street because we could have given a flying fuck about anybody else and what they thought about us. And it's only been within these last few years that I've self-doubted myself so much. And it stemmed from that terrible, awful friendship that broke up in 2020 and everything else that happened in between there. And social media is so terrible for people with mental health issues. So terrible. It's why I take long breaks from social media. That you need them. You need long breaks from social media. Because unfortunately, there are terrible people in this world. And there are trolls that love social media and love making other people miserable because they are miserable themselves. And if they hurt other people around them, they feel better about themselves. And I recognize that, and I know that that happens. I also know there are dangerous people online that harass, and that situation that I had finally, for the first time ever, named somebody, and I named James Donald Adair Jr. on my channel and outed him because of his terrible, terrible behavior. And it proves to you how dangerous this person could be, and that it's important for me to know that it's okay for me to defend myself and to do this kind of things to protect others out there, because James Donald Adair Jr. is the perfect example. That I had a mutual friend who put up a post about this guy, and the entire time I'm thinking, oh my god, I am not the only one. This is happening to somebody else. So then I knew how important it was to be strong and to just out this person, and made my post about it. And after I made my post, several other women came forward. And if you go in the comment sections, you can see how many other people were struggling with this guy and his bizarre, very toxic behavior. That this guy, if he commented to anything, he was the type that if you didn't respond fast enough to him, he became relentless. He would call you names. He would say really terrible, awful shit to, and I showed some examples on my thing where just how bad it was, and the fact that I was not the only person he was doing it to. He's just gonna keep doing it, and no one should be giving this guy a pass. There should never ever be an excuse to be following this guy. There is no free pass for this person. So I'm using these moments of weakness, I'm using them to turn them into a strength, to find my inner strength, to finally find my voice, to say enough is enough. I knew from the very get-go, at the beginning of the year, I knew saying anything about this person because I watched them do to other people so many other times, manipulating the story, and I watched it unfold behind the scenes. And what I said would happen still happened. And it's still a struggle for me. It is still a huge struggle for me. I'm not gonna lie. But I need to let it go. For myself, I need to forgive this person. And my next therapy session, that is what I want to work on. I want to finally unfold the whole situation that I've been avoiding with my therapist, so that I can finally say goodbye to 2023 and say hello to the new year. Say hello to 2024. I'm ready to dive back into my videos. I have my separate channel for my ghost stories and scary stories now. So scary stories, my father told me I want it to just keep developing and growing, and I'm enjoying the edits and everything I'm doing over there. So I would love for as many people as possible, if you enjoyed the ghost stories here, please come join that channel, because that is where I'm doing my ghost stories now. And I want this channel to stay for my Charsie Chats and for my movie reviews. I love and enjoy doing the movie reviews. I loved the advancement and what I was learning for my edits. It just became so discouraging when I kept getting the copyright claims on my videos for my movie reviews. It's fair use. My videos are transformative. It's commentary. It's using short clips and giving commentary. It's fair use. Unfortunately, there are these companies that will take advantage, because obviously through time and through learning that with copyright claims you can dispute it, And 9 times out of 10, these companies will be like, oh yeah, this is fair use. We'll release it and that it is totally your content. But there are those few exceptions, the 1 in that 10 that will decide, no, we're going to keep this copyright claim. Willy's Wonderland. Yeah, and that they think that, oh, it doesn't matter, you used short clips. Yeah, it was transformative and it's fair use, but we're going to keep our copyright claim. And the difference between a copyright strike and a copyright claim is that a copyright strike gets you in trouble with your channel and whatsoever. Copyright claim is that you're supposed to share the proceeds that you make from the AdSense on your videos and that with whoever put the copyright claim on it. Well, my channel's not monetized, so they're not making a dime off of my videos anyways. My videos are here for fun. They're here for me, and for me to just have enjoyment and talking about horror movies and, you know, the content that we have been enjoying and me doing story times. So it's really weird when, I don't know, when they hold a copyright claim for something like that, and that it's discouraging. But I want to push myself back into it again. So breathing in and out, and we are going to reflect on everything. But I want to go into the new year without anger, without aggression, with forgiveness. Because I also know that as toxic and as terrible as social media can be, there are still good people there as well. I have met some amazing friends that are friends till the end, and that I call my soul family now. And that I am ready to release all of these aggressive, hurt, anger, all this depression that I don't want anymore, and just release it. And it sucks that I was already at my lowest low to have another low point happen at the same exact time. That it was such a struggle this year. But I have to keep reminding myself it's okay to not be okay, and mental health is so important. And to have good people in my life that are here, that are supportive and loving, and that will also call me out when I need it, because I need the people that are going to tell me, hey, maybe should have done this, maybe should have done that. Which is why it is so important for me to know in the future that if something major happens, I will never sit quiet in the corner in the background ever again. I will defend myself. And I would want the same strength for all of you out there. And that in a world where we are surrounded by so much negativity, and between the fact of dealing with the mess from the pandemic and quarantine and all of that, to struggling with the economy, and we are seeing how many wars going on, breaking out around us, that more than ever we need peace, we need love, we need encouragement, that all this hate that's going around is not okay, and that I want nothing but love for everybody. Even for the people that have hurt me, I don't want to wish ill will on any of them. I hope that they're thriving. I hope that they are having an amazing life, because I don't want anyone to have a terrible life. Unfortunately, yes, there are evil people out there, but them, we just want them to see justice. But there's a difference between wishing ill will on someone and wanting them to have justice and wanting them to take accountability for their terrible behavior. There's a huge difference. But if you have made it this far and you have gone through the struggle bus of this episode with me. I love and appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here with me through my growth, through my changes. And I apologize so much that this channel has just been such a hot mess this year, and that I've been a hot mess. And thank you. I'm grateful for you being here. And if you would like to follow me on my other social medias, even though, yes, I do, I take social media breaks for my mental health, but please come follow me on my Twitter or my Blue Sky for Charsie Lux with 3 X's, or on my Instagram or Threads for Charsie87. And if you would like to support me just a little bit extra, please come follow me on my Patreon. And you can see on the screen a nice shout out to my Patreon members, and a huge thank you to you for joining. And please remember that I am the afterlife of the party, but I would love for you to come join me in the afterlife of the party, because there is always room for more of us to join together. And always remember to slay. Subscribe, like, and always be yourself. Like I said, I didn't want to get emotional, but I'm an emotional person. Breathing. And please remember to slay. Subscribe, like, and always be yourself. Also remember to love yourself, because self-love is the best love you can give yourself. Until next time, my little Luxes, I hope you have a Luxy Charms kind of day. And Happy New Year! Let's hope for better times to come next year.